The oil fields of Texas are burning with secrets, greed, and power. And Power and Paramount Plus just dropped the second official trailer for Landman 2026. If you thought the first trailer was intense, this one raises the stakes even higher. From explosive confrontations to emotional family drama, Landman looks set to become the next big hit from the creators of Yellowstone. But what exactly does this new trailer reveal, and why is everyone talking about it? Let's dive into the story, the characters, and the tension that's about to unfold on screen. Landman is not just another TV show. It's a raw and gritty story that dives deep into the modern-day oil boom in West Texas. Picture wide-open landscapes, giant drilling rigs, and families fighting over land that could either make them rich or tear them apart. This series comes from Taylor Sheridan, the mastermind behind Yellowstone, 1883, and mayor of Kingstown. That alone tells us this show is going to have the same mix of high-stakes drama, morally gray characters, and breathtaking cinematography that Sheridan is famous for. For those who are just hearing about Landman, the story explores how the oil industry shapes lives, communities, and even politics. It's about ordinary people being pulled into extraordinary battles over money, survival, and power. Imagine a ranch family discovering oil on their land. Suddenly, they're thrown into a world of big corporations, shady deals, and conflicts that could destroy everything they love. The heart of Landman is about people chasing the American dream but paying the highest possible price along the way. In the first official trailer, we saw glimpses of this chaotic world, hints of corruption, men in suits pulling strings, and families trying to hold on to their values. But Trailer 2 adds new depth. It doesn't just show us the oil rigs and the fights. It shows us the personal cost. We see characters caught between loyalty and ambition, and moments that remind us this isn't just about money, it's about survival. The oil boom is painted as both a blessing and a curse. And the series doesn't shy away from showing the dark side of that wealth. Billy Bob Thornton takes center stage as one of the lead characters, and his presence alone sets the tone. He plays a man who knows the industry inside and out, someone hardened by years of dealing with oil money and the battles it brings. Thornton has a way of commanding the screen with both quiet intensity and explosive anger, and this trailer reminds us that he's not here to play a hero. He's here to play someone complicated, someone who blurs the line between right and wrong. What stands out about it? Landman is that it's not just about business deals. It's about people. It's about what families are willing to risk, what friendships are torn apart, and how far someone will go to protect what's theirs. The trailer shows dusty small towns colliding with the polished offices of billion-dollar oil companies. It shows men and women caught in a storm of choices, where every decision comes with a price tag. It feels raw, it feels real, and it's going to pull audiences into a world most of us only see from the outside. The second trailer makes it clear that Landman will balance action with emotion. One moment we see oil rigs exploding against the horizon. The next moment we're inside a family home where relationships are hanging by a thread. That contrast is powerful. It shows us that the story isn't just about power struggles in boardrooms, but about how those struggles bleed into kitchens, bedrooms, and everyday lives. It's about fathers and sons, husbands and wives, friends and rivals, all caught in a storm that's bigger than any of them. With Trailer 2, Paramount Plus is telling viewers, this isn't just another Showtime event.
Ow!
It's a story about America's most controversial industry told through characters who feel real, flawed, and human. Just like Yellowstone made ranching a global obsession, Landman is about to put the oil industry under the spotlight in a way we've never seen before. And the best part? This is only the beginning. Asterisk the second official trailer for Landman wastes no time setting the tone. It opens with sweeping shots of West Texas, where the dry, rugged landscape stretches endlessly, interrupted only by massive oil rigs drilling into the earth. The sound of machinery is loud, almost violent, and it immediately tells us that this is a world where nature and industry are constantly colliding. The golden dust of the desert mixes with the black smoke of oil, and it feels like the land itself is both a treasure and a battlefield. From the very first frames, the trailer makes one thing clear. This isn't just about oil, it's about what oil represents: money, power, and control. We see men in suits stepping out of luxury cars, their polished shoes sinking into the dirt of rural Texas. That clash of worlds is powerful corporate America, meeting the rough edges of small-town life. In one scene, a corporate executive shakes hands with a local landowner, but the expression on their faces tells us it's not trust-tights business. And business in Landman is war. Billy Bob Thornton appears early in the trailer, his face hardened. With experience, he looks like a man who's been through every fight the oil industry has to offer, and he's still standing. In one shot, he sits at a bar, staring into a glass of whiskey, his silence saying more than words could. In another, he's seen shouting across a boardroom table, his voice echoing against the walls. These moments remind us that his character is not just a player in the oil game, he's a survivor, someone who knows the stakes better than anyone else. The trailer then shifts to the emotional heart of the story. The family's caught in the middle of this oil-fueled storm. We see glimpses of a father and son arguing in a truck, the younger man furious about the direction his family is heading. We see a mother holding her child close as news spreads of another accident on the rigs. These moments remind us that Landman isn't just about the people who profit from oil, it's about those who risk their lives for it, and those who live with the consequences. One of the most powerful scenes in trailer 2 shows an oil rig engulfed in flames against the Texas night sky. Workers scramble for safety as sirens wail in the distance. The camera lingers on the chaos, not glamorizing it, but showing it for what it is: danger, destruction, and the cost of pushing too hard for too much. That scene alone is enough to remind viewers that Landman will not shy away from showing the brutal reality of this industry. It's not just a job, it's survival. Sometimes survival comes at a deadly price. There are also moments of quiet tension that stand out. A character stares at a deed for a piece of land, the camera slowly zooming in as their hand trembles. Another character whispers, "This land will either save us or destroy us," setting up the central theme of the series. Land is not just property here, it's identity, it's legacy, and it's the key to either fortune or ruin. Every shot in the trailer reminds us that the land itself is the prize everyone is fighting for. Trailer. It also introduces new faces. We catch glimpses of supporting characters who seem just as layered and complex as the leads. There's a young woman who looks ready to stand up against corporate greed, her voice shaking but strong as she speaks at a community meeting. There's a rival businessman whose smirk suggests he's willing to cross any line to get what he wants. And there's a local sheriff. He's torn between upholding the law and protecting his community from the outsiders flooding in with money and promises. Each of these characters feels like they're carrying a piece of the story, and together they create a world that feels rich and alive. The pacing of the trailer is sharp. It cuts quickly between deals being made, arguments breaking out, and dangerous accidents on the rigs. The music builds with intensity, mixing country-inspired guitar with pounding drums, giving the whole trailer a heartbeat that never slows down. It feels like the land itself is alive, pulsing with energy, and that energy is driving everyone toward a collision they can't avoid. By the time the trailer ends, viewers are left with a sense of dread and excitement. Dread because it's clear things are going to get messy, families will break, friendships will shatter, and lives will be lost. Excitement because all of that drama is exactly what makes a show unforgettable. Trailer 2 doesn't just tease it, delivers enough to make fans feel the weight of what's coming. While still holding back the biggest surprises for the series itself, the final moments are chilling. Thornton's character looks directly at another man and says, "This land doesn't belong to you. It never did." The screen cuts to black, leaving the line hanging in the air like a warning. It's a perfect ending to a trailer that promises conflict, power, and drama at every turn. Asterisk, if the heart of Landman is its story, and the soul lies in its characters, Trailer 2 makes that crystal clear. Every frame feels carefully designed to not only show us who these people are, but also to hint at the roles they'll play in this brutal world of oil, land, and survival. This trailer doesn't just give us action and explosions, it gives us glimpses into the people who will make or break the narrative. Let's start with the anchor of the series, Billy Bob Thornton. His character is front and center, and it's obvious that he's not just another player in this world, he's a man who's seen it all. The trailer shows him in contrasting moments, sitting at a bar, his eyes distant, as though haunted by past choices, then suddenly unleashing fury in a boardroom when deals go sour. Thornton brings a raw, lived-in quality to the role. He's not playing a clean-cut hero, and he's not a simple villain either. He feels like someone who exists in the gray areas, someone who knows that in the oil business, morality is a luxury most can't afford. The trailer positions him as both a guide and a warning, someone who has walked this path before and is scarred because of it. But Landman isn't a one-man show. Trailer 2 introduces us to a lineup of supporting characters who each seem to carry their own weight in the story. We catch a glimpse of a young landowner, played with fierce intensity, standing up against oil companies trying to swallow his family's property. His anger is not just about money, it's about heritage. It's about protecting what generations before him built with their hands. In a powerful moment, he yells, "This land is all we have," while surrounded by family members who look both afraid and proud. That line alone sets the stage for a character who will not go down without a fight. Then there's a determined woman, shown in community meetings, her voice breaking as she speaks against corporate greed. She represents the conscience of the town, someone who sees beyond the short-term profits and warns of long-term damage. She's the kind of character who will likely become a moral compass in the story, reminding both the characters and the audience that what's at stake here is not just wealth, but lives and futures. The trailer doesn't tell us her whole story yet, but the way the camera lingers on her face suggests she will be central to the battles ahead. Another intriguing character teased in trailer 2 is the rival businessman, slick, confident, and clearly dangerous. His smile is more threatening than comforting, and in one quick shot, we see him whispering something in Thornton's ear that makes Thornton slam his glass on the table. This is the kind of antagonist who doesn't need to raise his voice to command power. He's the snake in the grass, the man who knows how to manipulate, deceive, and win battles without ever getting his hands dirty. In stories like Landman, characters like him are often the ones pulling strings from the shadows. His presence promises a storyline filled with betrayal and hidden agendas. We also catch a brief look at a sheriff, caught in the crossfire between law and loyalty. His uniform gives him authority, but his eyes tell a different story. He looks like a man torn between protecting his people and giving in to the overwhelming force of corporate power. In one striking shot, he's seen standing outside a burning oil rig, his face covered in ash, as if he's already realizing that some battles can't be won. He may become one of the most conflicted characters in the series, embodying the struggle of small-town protectors in a world dominated by billion-dollar interests. What's unique about the trailer is how it doesn't spell everything out. Instead, it gives us fragments of these characters' lives, just enough to make us curious, just enough to make us feel their desperation, their anger, and their pain. There are shots of heated family dinners where silence says more than words. There are quick flashes of lovers embracing in the shadows, hinting at secrets that could tear communities apart. And there are close-ups of hands gripping land deeds, hands shaking with rage, hands covered in dirt and oil. Every detail is a reminder that this is a story about people, not just the machines and corporations that surround them. The cast's performances already shine through in these small glimpses. There's an authenticity to the way they carry themselves, as if each one has lived in this world for years. Nothing feels staged or polished. Instead, the trailer captures a rawness that makes us believe these characters are real. And that's what makes Landman so promising. When characters feel real, their struggles matter more. When they're flawed, we see ourselves in them. When they break, we feel it too. What Paramount Plus and Taylor Sheridan have built with this ensemble is a tapestry of human stories, each thread unique, but all woven together by the pursuit of land and oil. From the veteran survivor to the fiery newcomer, From the greedy tycoon to the desperate mother, every character feels like they're standing on the edge of a cliff. And when the series begins, some will fall, while others will fight their way to the top. Trailer 2 doesn't just introduce us to characters, it introduces us to lives on the verge of being transformed, destroyed, or reborn. And that's what makes this section of the trailer so powerful. It tells us these aren't just faces on a screen, these are people with everything to lose. Asterisk, what truly sets Trailer 2 of Landman apart is not just the action, not just the new character reveals, but the way it digs into the deeper themes at the core of the story. The first trailer gave us the spectacle oil rigs, explosions, and big dramatic shots. But this second trailer, it slows down just enough to show us the why behind the conflict. It's not simply about drilling oil, it's about morality, legacy, and survival in a world where every choice costs something. One of the strongest themes that comes across in Trailer 2 is the price of the American dream. We see characters chasing wealth, building empires, and fighting for land. But the trailer makes it clear that every gain comes with a loss. In one shot, a man signs a contract with a shaky hand, his eyes filled with doubt. In another, a family sits at a dinner table where silence weighs heavier than words. The trailer is reminding us that fortune doesn't come free, someone always pays the price. Whether it's through broken families, betrayed friendships, or blood spilled on the land, another theme that hits hard is power versus community. The trailer contrasts two worlds, the billion-dollar corporate boardrooms where decisions are made with cold efficiency, and the small-town gatherings where voices crack with desperation. On one side, we see executives talking about land as if it's just another asset on a spreadsheet. On the other, we see families pleading to protect their homes and their future. That conflict between the faceless power of corporations and the human cost of their decisions is at the very heart of Landman. It's a reminder that industries don't just drill into the earth, they drill into people's lives. Trailer also leans into the theme of greed versus morality. There's a line whispered in the trailer, "Everyone has a number." It's a chilling reminder that in this world, everyone can be bought, or at least tested. We see characters wrestling with choices that are not black and white. Do they sell their land and secure their family's financial future? Or do they hold on to it and risk losing everything in the fight against corporations that always seem to win? These dilemmas are not abstract, they feel painfully real. And that's what makes them so gripping. Then there's the theme of legacy and land ownership. In multiple shots, the trailer shows the weight of history, father handing down deeds to his son, old photographs of families standing proudly on their property. The land isn't just dirt and rock, it's memory, blood, and identity. When the oil companies come knocking, they're not just offering money, they're asking people to give up their very history. That tension is written all over the characters' faces, and it gives the story an emotional depth that goes beyond business drama. What makes this second trailer different is also its tone. The first one had a fast, explosive energy. It wanted to hook us with intensity. Trailer 2, however, balances that intensity with moments of quiet dread. The pauses, the silences, the close-up shots of worried eyes and trembling hands, they make us realize this isn't just a story about what happens. It's a story about how it feels when everything you care about is on the line. It's more intimate, more personal, and far more haunting. The conflicts teased in Trailer 2 are layered. On the surface, it's corporations versus locals, money versus values. But beneath that, there are personal wars being fought. Fathers against sons, husbands against wives, friends against friends. The oil industry doesn't just dig into the ground, it digs into relationships, exposing cracks that might have otherwise stayed hidden. One particularly striking moment shows two brothers facing each other in the rain. One with a look of betrayal, the other with heartbreak. No words are spoken, but the shot tells us everything. Family ties will be tested. Not all of them will survive. The trailer also hints at environmental consequences, though it doesn't preach. We see oil spilling into the dirt, workers coughing, through clouds of smoke and animals scattering from noisy rigs. These images are subtle, but powerful. They remind us that the land is alive, and it's being pushed to its breaking point. This theme adds another layer to the story, not just the human cost of greed, but the environmental one as well. Another standout difference in Trailer 2 is its use of foreshadowing. In quick flashes, we see events that feel like they're leading towards something bigger, something catastrophic. A deal being signed, a house burning in the distance, a mother crying as she packs belongings into boxes. The editing style suggests that these events are connected, that every small choice will ripple into larger consequences. It feels like the calm before the storm, but the storm is already visible on the horizon. The trailer ends with a single, haunting line: "This land doesn't belong to you. It never did." That one sentence captures the heart of every theme in the show: ownership, greed, betrayal, and the eternal fight over who truly has the right to claim the land beneath their feet. It's not just a line of dialogue, it's a thesis statement for the series, one that leaves viewers with chills as the screen fades to black. So what makes Trailer 2 special? It's not just that it shows us more footage, it's that it deepens the story.